Ladies and gentlemen, people of all ages, I have been requested heavily to cover this SCP-2662 Cthulhu. Now, this is an SCP animation that a lot of people have been asking me to cover. This is from SCP Explained, and I was told that this is a banger, it's a good one. Now, as someone that knows, I only know the Lovecraftian version of Cthulhu. I don't know how it actually affects the SCP Foundation. So, peoples, we are jumping right into it. And I am more than excited to see what this is all about. There is no way this will actually scare me. I'm just telling you in advance. And I know you're going to say, oh, you say that before every SCP reaction. I'm doing the SCP Cthulhu deep dive. This one will not scare me because I am already familiar with the Lovecraft one. It's not actually going to shake me that much. All right, let's see what we got.
Over 50 men and women, clad in red robes, kneel before an unholy altar. They chant and mutter indecipherable words.
Dude, of course, the guy in the red robes has a mustache, obviously.
Words of cruelty and madness, of obsession and sacrilege.
Not
long ago, these were regular people. Computer technicians, teachers, plumbers, construction workers, accountants.
I love how he's just like, they were humans. I will now list off regular human jobs.
This was before they fell under the ungodly influence of a new ruler. The center of this makeshift...
Oh god, wait, how does this fit into the SCP Foundation? How do you actually contain Cthulhu?
Worship was once a normal school gymnasium, but it's now the home of a huge statue.
Everything starts as a normal school gymnasium, bro, and then the birth rate declines, and then the hentai artists take over.
A humanoid being, wreathed in tentacles. Its head is more like a squid or cuttlefish than anything resembling an actual human face.
Oh my god, it's Davy Jones.
While he's known to the cultists as the Tentacled God, the beast...
Tentacled God? You could not have thought of something less original. Cultists? Could you not have thought of something better, brother?
They worship is known to the SCP Foundation as SCP-2662.
Oh god.
And he sits in the belly of one of their expansive containment facilities.
Oh wait, they actually managed to contain Cthulhu, the Lord of Hentai himself?
Locked away from the world. But not for long, if his devoted followers have anything to say about it.
So interesting. So it seems like so it's mostly about the cult of Cthulhu, so much more than the actual being, right?
This is their god, all-powerful and unchanging, and when it...
All-powerful. Meanwhile, it was just kind of captured and is just sitting in some SCP facility. Puny god.
Comes to springing him from containment. No tactic is too vile or underhanded to get the job done.
Dude, I know what to do, all right? Listen, if I know one thing about tentacle monsters in gymnasiums, it's you gotta lure it out with a Japanese schoolgirl.
Their mortal leader and high priest, a man in a purple robe calling himself Brother Marsh, walks among their crouched forms.
Yes.
He whispers instructions for the great day of liberation that's soon to come, providing everyone plays their part. It's a plan months in the making, and one that, if it goes off without a hitch, could free their monstrous god into the world.
Wait, so what has it been doing until now? It's just kind of vibing there? if it's really some powerful, all-powerful, crazy deity, why would you pick to worship a creature that's just stuck in the basement of some human facility?
They would strike at the very heart...
I told you this one wasn't gonna scare me.
...of their enemy, the SCP Foundation, when they least expect it. And nothing shall stand in their way. How could they lose when they have a god on their side?
Their god sucks, I guess, and it's stuck in a basement.
But why did all these normal people become violent zealots for a squid-faced deity? It all
because it gives great head?
Began with a dream. To those who experienced these dreams, they felt more like prophecies, premonitions of the glorious horrors to come.
Oh, freak.
A red sky, billions dead, and billions more enslaved, a dark silhouette on the horizon. Their tentacled god holding dominion over all. At first
Wait, so Cthulhu's major power here really seems like it's not like it itself is strong. It just seems like it can manage to get any regular guy just indoctrinated in its cult. I guess the fear is what it could do to some subconscious person.
It just seemed like a strange nightmare. The ones who experienced it woke up shaken and afraid, hoping to shake the images from their mind, but they couldn't. Every night, the nightmare would return. They'd see the images, the red sky, the dead and enslaved.
Oh my god, it's Camden Gerard Davis. Okay, whatever, that reference wasn't
the tentacled god. And after a while, it would come to them even when they weren't asleep, eventually happening whenever they closed their eyes. Little by little,
Dude. And it just slowly but surely eats at your subconscious. Every time you close your eyes, you see Cthulhu. You sleep, you see Cthulhu. And sooner or later, it will eventually indoctrinate you into its cult. What's so scary about that is how cults kind of operate. In some weird, twisted way, they operate by feeding on your subconscious so much more than your actual conscience.
Stopped looking so hideous and started to look glorious. They felt his presence in their minds, slowly pushing them towards their inevitable future. They started to realize that they wanted him to rule over the universe and to experience the honor of serving him. Many of them abandoned their homes and families.
So it's the impact, the effect that it has on the human mind that makes it so dangerous. It's not like it itself is actually dangerous.
Friends and loved ones left to worry that they'd gone insane. In their eyes, they were safer than they'd ever been. They finally had purpose.
Yes.
They were working in service of something far greater
They're just
than
like
themselves. The influence of the tentacled god drew them closer to one another. They would meet in secret, exchanging information from the prophecies their ruler sent to them in their dreams.
That's honestly crazy. Wait, so it sends different prophecies to different people just so that they could tell each other and create a community.
They worship.
You find the girl of your dreams and then she just leaves you for Cthulhu? No, don't say things like that, no!
Together, building altars and idols to congregate around. They performed dark blood rituals involving human and animal sacrifice. It was when Brother Marsh, the Anointed One, arrived to guide them towards their true mission.
Anointed by who?
That things kicked into high gear.
Kicked? That reminds me of how I stream right now on kick.com/Nuxanor, and you should follow me there.
Just 3 months prior, Brother Marsh had been an office drone working in data entry for a large insurance company.
Dude, I love it. It's like, I used to be a regular guy, completely unimportant in any way, and then the mighty tentacle god has given me purpose and power, and now I have authority over all of these minions. Why does every second stage cult leader just have the most boring past in the history of time?
The tentacled god invaded his thoughts with a simple message. Free me, and the new world I create shall be your playground.
Oh, God.
Since then, he devoted himself completely to the cause, quitting his job and maxing out his credit cards to help fund his new life.
It's like, oh my God, Brother Marsh, you're so cool. You have this cool throne, and you have this cool thing. I am in crippling debt.
Purpose.
I will make Roblox a reality.
Infiltrating the SCP Foundation and releasing his inhuman ruler.
Dude, is he... There's no way he actually succeeds in getting Cthulhu to breach containment, right?
Its imprisonment. That was the single goal he united the cultists under. Freedom for the tentacled god. And at long last, they had all the pieces in place to strike. They'd finally gathered the necessary intel to subvert the will of the most powerful secret organization on Earth.
Damn.
Even the strongest institution is made of people, and people are weak. Unlike the almighty—
But you're people! This is just people versus people. You can't use the people are weak gimmick against people when you're people.
Tentacled god, people could be broken.
Listen, I've seen a tentacle god or two breaking people, and it was not in the same fashion that he is describing.
In question were Kelly Thompson, Sidney Levitt, Jordan Broche, Dr. Juan Gutierrez, and Jillian Larson. Dr. Juan Gutierrez was a researcher with level 3 clearance on the site.
Just out of curiosity, if Cthulhu's so fucking cool, and it could just, it could pop into your dreams and control you, why doesn't it do this to the freaking SCP agents that are containing him? Why does it need to go for cubicle workers outside? I'm thoroughly unimpressed by Cthulhu thus far. Listen, I love Cthulhu as like a Lovecraftian entity. However, not impressed, not impressed. There's usually a twist, and I'm expecting a twist. But so far, my dick is soft.
Sidney Levitt and Jordan Broche
tentacles here, so I'm just saying.
Were both security officers charged with verifying personnel clearance on site. Kelly Thompson was a member of site administration with research authorization powers, and Jillian Larson was a research assistant who often collaborated with Dr. Gutierrez.
All right.
These 5 were the key to getting access to
The Power Rangers.
SCP-2662 and bringing their plan to fruition. Normally, personnel dossiers—
Does this actually work? There's no way this group of losers that got mind controlled by a tentacle guy are actually going to break this thing out of jail, out of the SCP Foundation, right?
People working for the Foundation were highly confidential, but the devotees of the tentacled god had their ways. They had a number of computer experts in their ranks, more than capable of hacking in and pulling some basic information off of Foundation servers.
Dude, what the frick are these people? This is like a Discord server.
For the other information they needed, they turned to some good old-fashioned torture, which is often the most effective method when you need some quick results.
I mean, listen, torture works, I suppose.
Of course, while the
Pretty
cult's grip on
PG.
sanity may have been a little tenuous, they weren't stupid. While gathering their intel, they also made sure to find out what exactly they were up against. SCP-2662 was being held in a humanoid containment
Did they just change voice actors in the middle of this video?
cell and guarded by
Okay.
on-site Task Force Town 9, better known as the Belligerent Bodyguard.
We're the belligerent bodyguards. No one will ever get past us. We're guarding a tentacled god.
These aren't lazy, donut-chomping mall cops. These are a heavily trained, heavily armed fighting force. Though
And
the
you can tell because they have toothpicks in their mouths.
Cultists had one thing that these Foundation soldiers didn't.
Crippling debt.
The element of surprise.
I like my answer better.
For everything to go off perfectly, Brother Marsh
They have nothing to lose. I have 4 terabytes of tentacle porn on this hard drive.
His plans would have to be executed within a single day, and they were already on the clock. Tau 9 had been charged with tracking down any new SCP-2662 cults and dismantling them, and Brother Marsh knew that it was only a matter of time before the Foundation tracked them down and did the same to them.
Okay.
If they wanted any chance of freeing the Tentacled God, then they'd need to strike quickly and with overwhelming force.
Dude, is it just me? Is it just me? Or is the character
Oh,
design
God.
of this guy,
Then they
the
need-
tentacles get closer and closer to his dick every single time we see him. Like they're moving up of his little robe thing.
Need to strike quickly and with overwhelming force. The SCP-2662 worshippers were able to
It's
secure...
so interesting. Most of the most dangerous SCP creatures that are actually in lockdown in the Foundation, when they breach containment, it's because they are strong. 682 Lizard breaches containment because it's indestructible. I'm just saying. That's why that breaches containment. The old man breaches containment because it melts through walls and opens pocket dimensions, okay? The shy guy breaches containment because it saw a face and nothing can stop it once it actually sees someone and wants to go destroy them. Cthulhu, right? This Eldritchian entity, an outer worldly being, needs ex-cubicle workers to break it out of containment. I'm just saying that does not speak great for its credibility.
Foundation personnel and station members outside each of them, including one who could realistically imitate each. They waited for night to fall and broke into each of their homes as they slept.
Of course this goober has a pocket watch.
What followed was a sequence of ruthless and efficient murders done in the cause of freeing
shit.
their god. Dr. Gutierrez was shot in the head while he
Oh
slept.
my god!
Sydney left
This group of dude, I guess ultimately, you know the most powerful thing you can give anyone? Give them a cause.
David and Jordan Broche were both stabbed to death before either even
Dude.
realized what was happening. Thompson, who'd gotten up to use the bathroom, went down in a hail of machine gun fire.
They went to assassinate a sleeping lady with a machine gun.
Jillian Larson had seen that masked figures were breaking into her home and attempted to flee, but was caught and beaten to death by cultists in her hallway.
Wait, so one of them gets killed by a machine gun in the middle of the night, the other one gets beaten to death. Where's the happy medium here?
It was a strange irony that people whose day jobs entailed working with some of the most dangerous and nightmarish anomalies imaginable were murdered in their homes by nothing more than regular humans.
I do see the irony. Like, okay, all right. Maybe Cthulhu could break out. Maybe this is just him wanting to fuck with people. Him saying, you are dealing with the supernatural all day, and you will be killed in the middle of the night by your own brothers. Like, maybe that's just Cthulhu's game plan. Just fucking with people a little bit.
So far, Brother Marsh's plan had gone perfectly, with all 5 key personnel murdered within a 2-minute period. Next, the selected doppelgangers stole clothes from their victims' closets and were handed the correct forged documentation. The next morning, each replacement began their journeys to the site where the tentacled god was being contained, while the rest of the cult armed
Dude, this is like an actual insane breakout plan.
themselves in preparation for their own part in the plan. Nobody at the Foundation seemed to notice anything amiss when the 5 arrived on site.
Token woman here. I look like every other woman, so it'll be fine.
When you work for the SCP Foundation, more mental energy is devoted to following the rules that keep you alive than to memorizing the faces of all your coworkers, and each one slipped neatly into position, disappearing into the familiarity of office life.
Oh my god.
Infiltrating.
Oh my god, dude, and you know it's like, it's perfect. Not only do I look like this doctor, but I used to work in a cubicle myself. I also used to have a boring desk job, so I know exactly what to do.
The site was one thing. Getting past the belligerent bodyguards and into the cell of the Tentacled God would be another thing entirely. That's where the rest of the...
Dude, Cthulhu knew to intrude the minds of people that would be perfect clones. Sure.
Cult would come into play. Heavily armed with whatever firearms they could get their hands on, the rest of the devotees of the Tentacled God, Brother Marsh included, would attack the containment site head-on.
God
In the
damn.
ensuing chaos, the 5 cultists who had already infiltrated the site could take advantage of the distraction and break into the containment chamber. It was perfect.
Shit, the plan actually worked. Here you have the SCP Foundation, the most secure organization in the world, to the point that governments don't want to fuck with them. And just a bunch of regular people are able to perfectly plan taking them down and breaking into one of the most secure confinement centers. That's actually horrifying.
Launched their attack from the outside and from within.
All right.
When Brother Marsh declared that the time was right, the assault began. A legion of gun-wielding cultists seemed to spring out of nowhere and started shooting up the warehouse that was a front for the containment site. The site quickly mobilized guards and task force members to take on the sudden threat. And just as Brother Marsh had anticipated, the site director called on the majority of Town 9 to help repel the violent cultists.
Just as I predicted, they called reinforcements! Wow, he's so fucking smart, guys.
From their perimeter. Town 9 obeyed, leaving 3 task force members behind to guard SCP-2662's
Let's mobilize all our forces except for 3 men! We will send all of them there! Yes. The 3 men, they'll cover this area.
Containment chamber.
Yes.
They expected to be guarding the cell from rampaging religious zealots seeking an audience with their god. What they didn't expect was a group of 5 Foundation employees walking right up to them
Yo, that's so messed
and
up.
opening fire, killing 2 Town 9 members and taking the 3rd as hostage.
Bro, oh my god, there is no way this plan was able to get executed so well. It's not like Cthulhu even planned it for them. All Cthulhu needed to do is give a cause to a bunch of people, and they were able to take down the most secure facility in the world.
The infiltrators had found the Tentacled God's containment cell in the low-risk humanoid ward.
Oh?
Their hostage insisted that using him wouldn't give them any leverage. The rest of his team would neutralize the whole group, him included, if that's what it took to stop them. The infiltrators explained that using him as leverage was never their intention. He wasn't a hostage at all. He was a sacrifice.
Oh my fucking god, dude. That's messed up. You can never take me alive. That's okay.
The cultists of the Tentacled God detonated explosives, creating a hole in the wall and finally giving them access to their deity. They climbed through and gazed upon him in awe.
All right, dude, it's time. It's time. We are literally, 85% done the episode, and we're finally about to see Cthulhu for the first time.
There stood SCP-2662,
Wait.
twice as tall as a regular man, with 10 huge tentacles emerging from its back. In their months of envisioning this creature, they'd pictured it sitting on a throne made of thousands of human bones, ready to dictate its commands to the obedient liberators. What they certainly didn't expect was to see the Tentacled God hunched over a...
What? Dude, it's just Dream's face reveal.
So they stuck to the plan and began chanting. They pulled out a sacrificial dagger and began sacrificing their captured
Oh my fucking god.
Town 9 member. It was at this point that SCP-2662 turned and saw what they were doing with a look of pure horror. He rose up from his computer, his headphones getting caught as he did so. He told them to—
His headphones getting caught? Dude, he tripped on his chair and stubbed his toe. What? Gods work in mysterious ways. Okay, dude.
Go away, that he didn't want them here, and that them murdering people in his bedroom like this was inconsiderate and disgusting.
Guys, it's so inconsiderate and disgusting that you're murdering people in my bedroom.
The cultists became even more confused. Why wasn't their god accepting their offerings? What were they doing wrong?
Dude, this is the the scariest part of cult mentality. So when someone starts a cult by accident, the cult fuels the cult and creates the religion, when the actual creature that started the cult, or the creature that they are supposed to be revering, has absolutely no interest in the bastardized ways they have evolved. What an insane message and moral.
They tried more chanting and painting arcane symbols on the floor in blood. But
why are you painting on my floor in blood?
This just seemed to make the creature angrier. He told them, in a tone more fitting for a teenage boy than a Lovecraftian god, to just leave him alone so he
Average
could
teenage boy with a tumor coming out of his head.
play his video games. This was seriously not cool.
Yeah, I guess.
The cultists were baffled. They told the Tentacled god that they were there to free him. He replied that he didn't need saving.
I don't want to be free. I'm just playing Minecraft.
That crazy stalkers like them were why he turned himself into the Foundation in the first place.
Wait, so does he actually have crazy Lovecraftian powers? He's like,
Everywhere I go, people revere me and make cults about me. I hate opening up tentacle hentai and seeing myself on the front page, so I just got myself arrested talking about video games.
Before the cultist infiltrators could get another word in, the remaining members of Town 9 stormed into the containment cell and gunned them down with surgical precision. Marsh and the rest of the cultists were all killed in the firefight.
They really expected Cthulhu to save them.
Town 9 didn't look the least bit surprised upon entering 2662's cell. This was a common occurrence, unfortunately.
Wait, huh? People breaking in to save Cthulhu because they get mind controlled without even noticing? Trying to break Cthulhu out of the SCP Foundation happens all the time. He is subconsciously and unknowing intruding and controlling the minds of many. He's creating cult after cult by total accident just by merely existing. Oh, I take it back. This was a really good one. What the frick?
They had to deal with an attempted cult invasion every few months.
Every few months, another cult breaks in to save their Lord and Savior Cthulhu. This guy's just trying to play Minecraft. Oh my lord, what?
Because SCP-2662's main anomalous ability is inspiring violent cults who relentlessly track down and worship it with arcane and bloodthirsty rituals.
Wow, oh my god. He accidentally girl bosses and gaslights people into worshiping him. That's a crazy twist on the concept.
Problem is, 2662 doesn't do this consciously, and definitely doesn't like the results. That's why he's under the voluntary care of the SCP Foundation, who keeps him amused with video games and reading material, while fending off the deranged cults who try to invade and abduct him.
Dude's just sitting there warping the world around him, and the SCP Foundation's job isn't to contain him, it's just to take down nutcases that end up getting accidentally mind controlled by him. Also, goddamn, look at that bulge. And they wonder why this guy's the protagonist of so many hentai.
Devotees of the Tentacled God, just one of many cults who'd broken into 2662's containment cell. The remaining Town 9 members apologized to the tentacled creature for the disturbance, allowing him to return to his gaming. They assured him that it'd probably be at least a few more months before something like this happened again.
Oh my god, and there's no end to this.
2662's cell was repaired, and the Foundation returned to its task of seeking out would-be cult emancipators, because for the SCP Foundation, it's not always about the anomaly that's being kept in containment, but what's being kept out.
Dude, that was a good one. I am so floored. Dude, I did not see that coming at all.
Like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch. Stay weird, fam.